Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is October 15th, 2024. I'm just trying to upload the notes on Patreon. I'm going to give out my World Series prediction on YouTube for free. Of course, I asked my Patreon before I made this decision, and they all agreed. So, shout out to them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be putting out this video on YouTube, because there are people who are paying for this information, and it's not fair for me just to give it out for free when there's people paying. So before I did this live stream, I asked them, if it was okay for me to do this do this live stream, and they said it's okay. So that's why I've been doing it. So I just want to give a shout out to those people who were generous enough to, grant me permission, because, like I said, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm not gonna put out free information, because there's a lot of people who watch these videos, make a lot of money, and they don't put nothing back into the work. And that's not going to get us anywhere. That's not going to get us anywhere. That's why, 6 years later, we still in the same place. I don't know what's going on with the Patreon right now. I hope this doesn't delete. Let me just refresh it. Oh, I see what's going on. I'm not signed in. It signed me out for some reason. Okay. Why did it do that? I think my notes should still be there. Let me see. Draft. Yep, it is. Okay. Oof. That was a close one. I thought all this stuff deleted. Well, actually, the images deleted, but I'll fix that later. Actually, I do need some. Oh no, they came back. Okay, everything is there. Okay, all right, we good to go now. All right, so let me just look at the live stream, make sure everything is good. Shout out to Top C, Vinny. What's going on? How you guys doing? Thanks a lot, Rayvon. Thank you for joining us. All right, so here we go. Don't want to talk you guys to death. So I was looking at the World Series, and I think it's going to be a rematch of the 2000 World Series, where they had the Yankees playing against the Mets, and it's because of this here. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with a guy named Ed Kranepool, who died on September 8th at the age of 79. They're saying that he died from a cardiac arrest. And I looked into his career. He played for the Mets for 18 years, and he was part of the 1969 World Series champions. The Mets who won the World Series in 1969. He was a member of that team. And that team, if you guys remember, that team was known as the Miracle Mets, right? The Miracle Mets, the 1969 Miracle Mets. He was one of the most important players of that team. He had a big home run in the World Series to help the Mets win their first championship. And not only did he die this year, but he was also the last living member of that team. He was the last living member. Of course, all the other players passed away years ago, but our friend Ed, he survived all the way till the age of 79. And this is what I found interesting about him. So, if you guys notice, his full name is Edward M.L. Kranepool III. His full name equals 120. Like how this is the year of the 120th World Series. Right? And like I said, he died on September 8th. And his birthday, if you guys notice up here, his birthday is on November 8th. So he died 61 days before turning 80. 61 days before his 80th birthday. And notice in Gematria, the Miracle Mets equals 16-1. And that's who I think they're going to be paying tribute to in this World Series. Because, oh my God, look at this one. So, you guys remember game one of the Mets versus Dodgers? Remember they lost 9-0? Let me show you guys the box score. Actually, it was This was the game that they won. So it was this game right here. So this was game 1 of that series. It was played on October 13th, and the Mets got shut out 9-0, right? And on Instagram, the Mets page, they put out this post earlier today that said, every team who was shut out and lost by 9+ runs in game 1 won their series. Every team that has shut out a team by 9+ runs has won their series in game 1, right? And notice teams are 5-0 all time in the postseason. So every team it's been 5 teams, all 5 teams have won. So of course, if the Mets win this series, the Dodgers will make that record fall to 5-1, and that's a big number with the Mets. New York Mets equals 51, like Mets. Of course, they won their World Series in 1969 on the day with 51 numerology. I can't begin to tell you how important the number 51 is with the Mets. That is a huge, huge, huge number, right? So this is interesting right here. So I do think the Mets are going to win this series. Now, the reason I think it's going to be against the Yankees is because it's going back to Ed Kranepool. Because, if you guys notice here, our friend Ed, he was born in the Bronx. Funny, they put out this article on 9/11. But it says here that Ed Kranepool, a Bronx-born first baseman whose long career with the Mets began in their first season in 1962 when they were a comical, awful expansion franchise, continued through their World Series championship 7 years later and lasted long enough for the return to the cellar. Died on Sunday at his home in Boca Raton, Florida. He was 79 years old. The Mets said the cause of death was cardiac arrest. He is the 4th member of the Mets' 1969 World Series championship, the Miracle Mets, as they were called, to die this year, following Jerry Grote. Also, I'll take that back. I thought the rest of the members died a while back, but so you look at that. Oh my gosh, I wasn't even noticing this. So all four of these people died this year. Come on, man, stop playing, man. I should have read this article. My bad. Because it was a different article that said that he was, whatever. Okay, so it looks like all these people died this year. So Jerry Grote, yeah, he died on April 7th. Look at that. All the members of the Miracle Mets died this year, man. 4 members of that team? Get the fuck out of here, man. What are the odds of that? Oh, man. So what's the other guy's name? Bud Harrison? He died on January 11th. He was the first person to die from that team. All right, so we're going to put them all together. We're going to see what else we noticed. But, yeah, and Jim McAndrew. Jim McAndrew. Yeah, he died on March 14th on Pi Day. All these players died this year. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, but I know what it was. So the other article was correct. Ed Kranepool was the last living member. For some reason, I thought that the other players died a while back, but it looks like that wasn't true. They all died this year. Well, at least 4 members of that team. 4 members? Of course, the number 4 is associated with death, right? But 4 members died from that team this year. 4 people. You gotta ask yourself, what are the odds of that? They all died the same year. And why the year 24? Well, we know why. Because Mets equals 24. That's a big number as well with the Mets. Right, Mets equals 24. This is the year 24. Notice Mets is also 12. If they win tomorrow, which is the 55th year anniversary since winning that World Series, they won the World Series in 1969 on October 16th, and coincidentally, they're playing the Dodgers tomorrow on the 55th year anniversary. Notice what the name Kranepool equals. Ed Kranepool equals 55. So tomorrow's the 55 year anniversary. So let's see if the Mets make the Dodgers 1-2 in that series. But yeah, Mets equals 24. And 4 members of that franchise died this year, including our friend Ed Kranepool, who's the last member. All right, so let's see, because For some reason, I didn't read the New York Times article, and I should have did that before this live stream because I would have had all this information ready for you guys. So I apologize for that. But thank God that I read it now because I didn't notice how this is really is. This is all about the Miracle Mets. This whole season has been about the Miracle Mets. And look at this. The Mets were nearly halfway to a 40-120 record in 1962. So, again, this is the year of the 120th World Series. They lost 120 games in 1960. Oh, my gosh, man. The 1962 Mets record. Shit, they lost 120 games, man. And this is the year of the 120th World Series, man. Are you fucking kidding me, man? And again, the name Ed Kranepool III, or Edward M.L. Kranepool III equals 120. Like Illuminati. And they even had a tie. And of course they did that because they wanted to keep it at 120. And this article came out this year, right? So what is this article about? Look at that. Another coincidence. Somebody just wanted to remind us of the 1962 Mets. White Sox match. Oh, that's why the White Sox lost all those games this year. Oh, they was paying tribute to that team, to that Mets team. It's all making sense now. The White Sox matched the 1962 New York Mets infamous record. Oh my goodness, it's all making sense now. That's why the White Sox went on that big losing streak, man. For the record, you guys are watching the best gematria channel in the community. Nobody else is teaching you none of this stuff. Let's see. So the White Sox, yeah, almost, right? They lost 121 games because there's no tie, right? So they finished the season with 41 wins. Yeah, they lost 120 games like that Mets team in 1962. That's why they wanted to remind us of that team. Okay, so it's all making sense. Now we know why the White Sox went on that big losing streak. Paying tribute to the 1962 Mets. All right, so let's go back to so Bud Harrelson. He died on January 11th. You know what's funny about that? New York equals 111. And Game 6 of the World Series is on November 1st. So if they have New York versus New York, it's another Subway Series, that would be the perfect day to end it, on November 1st. And if it ends in 6 games, that means the series will end 4-2 or 2-4 in the year 24 when Mets equals 24. All right, so let me see. So he died June 6th. I know Ed Kranepool, he died 163 days after the Mets opening day, which was March 29th. And we know that's the 38th prime number. We know death, murder, killing, RIP, all 38. All right, so he was born June 6th and died 1/11. So 219 days after his birthday, or 147 days after his birthday. He died 147 days before his birthday, which is the World Series number. Bud Harrelson. So that's interesting. I got to put that in my notes. So Bud Harrelson, I'm going to end up forgetting. I'm going to type that in now. Crazy stuff. Oh, yeah, and Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, he's 68 years old. Championship is 68. So Bud Harrelson died 147 days before his birthday. And we know World Series is 147. At first I thought it was going to be the Dodgers because it is the World Series starts 147 days after Dave Roberts' birthday. World Series is 147. But after noticing all the stuff with the Miracle Mets, I highly doubt it. And noticing what they did with the White Sox this year, them matching that 1962 Mets record with 120 losses, and this is the year of the 120th World Series, you cannot tell me that it's not going to be the Mets in the World Series. So if I am wrong about this, so be it. I've been wrong before. I don't care about being wrong. A lot of you care, and that's why you guys lie so much to the people. Even when it was clearly wrong, you guys still come on a live stream and lie. I don't care about that. I don't care about being wrong. I've been right so many times. I've predicted the death of people, celebrities. Like, come on. Like, there's nothing anybody can say to me at this point. 6 years in, I think I've proven enough that I know what I'm doing, and I've exposed this to the T. I've shown exactly how the games are rigged, how they're sacrificing players. There's no doubt about it. Anybody watching this video denying it, you're just a dummy. You're not even capable of probably doing a easy math equation. So I don't really care what anybody has to say at this point. If it ends up being any other team besides the Mets, so be it. It doesn't really matter at this point. Of course, you're going to have people like the guy that I interviewed and bring up, oh, I thought you said the Mets. I thought you said the Mets is going to go. People like that don't have no fucking clue of what's really going on. All right, so Bud, let's go back to this, though. So Bud Harrelson, okay, so he died 147 days before his birthday. Okay, so what did he die from? What did they say he died from? Okay, Alzheimer's disease. He was also 79 years old. Okay. We know Murder, Society of Jesus, 79. And of course, Alzheimer's disease is 79, right? So he dies from Alzheimer's disease at the age of 79. Sure. Played for the Mets, played for the Phillies, also played for the Texans. He died 218 days after his birthday. So, for some reason, it says here that he died on January 10th, which makes more sense. But, over here, Wikipedia has it as January 11th, so it makes more sense for him to die 218 days after his birthday because death is 218. But they're reporting that he died on January 11th. And I think the reason they're doing this is because, again, it's 147 days before his birthday, and New York is 111, like the date he died, or 1/11. His number's 129, like New York Mets. Of course, 201 is 129 is 201 in base 8 counting. It's also 150 like Illuminati. His name is also 120? You gotta be fucking kidding me, man. The name Daryl McKinley Harrelson is also 120. Oh, Illuminati confirmed. You know, I'm definitely gonna go to Queens. I'm trying to see, man, because a Subway Series, you know, I'm not that far from both stadiums. I'm like 5 minutes away from Yankee Stadium and about an hour from Citi Field. But I don't know if I want to go out there and wake up these people, man. These people are fucking brain dead. They're fucking retarded. It's just like, man, I don't want to waste my time. But what are the odds, man? This guy has the 120 in his name. Bud Harrelson. Gotta be fucking kidding me, man. The Miracle Mets. A team that lost 1962 Mets lost 120 games. And here they are in the 120th World Series about to win it. It's not rigged. You never play baseball, I can tell. Crazy. All right, so moving on. So Jerry Grote. He died on April 7th. Of course, the 4 train is going to play against the 7 train. From 10-6 to 4-7. He died 39 weeks before his birthday. Wait, am I doing this right? No, I'm not. 10-6, not 106, not 1-6, 10-6. Okay. All right, so 126 weeks. Okay. Yeah, he died on a day with 55 numerology. He died on the 185th day of his age, and my mathematics is 185. Our friend Gerald Wayne Grote. Oh, there it is, that 185, right? He died on his 185th day of his age. His name is also 129 and 57, like New York Mets. But yeah, it's easy to see what happened with him. Gerald Grote equals 185. Is also 58 and 59 like Freemasonry. For 185, he dies on his 185th day of his age. Again, mathematics is 185. Catholicism is 185. Like how the Celtics became 18-5. I would have had all this ready if I would have read this article, this New York Times article. I had no idea all these Miracle Mets players died this year. I would have been solved the World Series. Actually, I don't think so. Because the only reason I noticed all this is because I noticed the Ed Kranepool death. I said, look at that. Ed Kranepool died. That's interesting. His name is 120. But now I'm noticing so much more, and it's really like, I'll be mind blown if this doesn't, if it's not the Mets. I'm gonna be surprised. All right, so moving on. So Jerry, just to recap, Jerry Grote, also known as Gerald Grote, he died on his 185th day of his age. His name is Jerry Grote. Gerald Grote is 185, like Catholicism and mathematics, and he died at the age of 81. I think I saw 81 with him. Let's see. No, Rich was 81. Yeah, and his full name is 81. So that's why he died at the age of 81, right? The name Gerald Wayne Grote equals 81. Forwards and backwards. He died at the age of 81. Okay, so also he died at age 81. Okay, so that's that for. So we're done with 3 out of the 4 Miracle Mets. We're down to the last one. Okay. All right, so moving on. The 69 amazing Mets. All right, moving on. So Jim McAndrew. He died on Pi Day at the age of 80. He was born on 1/11 and died on 3/14. He died 63 days after his birthday. Major League is 63. Major League Baseball is 63. Of course, the Mets are in their 63rd season. So that's probably why all this stuff is happening with them right now. I actually wrote that in my notes as well. Notice up here I wrote, the Mets are in their 63rd season. Major League is 63. Major League Baseball is 63. Right here, I put it right here in the notes. So, Jim McAndrew, he died at the age of... No, he died 63 days after his birthday. Let's see how old was he. He died from a brief illness. Oh, yeah, again, yeah, he was 80, right? I forgot. All right, so he was 80. So he died from a brief illness. And let's look up his full name now. Of course, it's 201 and 79, like Order of Illuminati. His name is also 129, like New York Mets, 78, like New York, 222, like New York, New York. He goes by Jim McAndrew. 67, like Blood Sacrifice. Okay. So what I'm gonna write about him is that he died 63 days after his birthday. The Mets are in their 63rd season. And Major League is 63. Like Major League Baseball. You could also say he died in his 64th year of life as well. Killed 64. Yeah, then again, the reason I think it's going to be the Yankees is because, again, Ed Kranepool, going back to what we said in the beginning, Ed Kranepool is from the Bronx. He's from the Bronx. So... you have the Mets defeat the Bronx. Now, the Subway Series, Riddle, I don't know. I don't see much with this. I don't know how the Mets are going to beat the Yankees. It's definitely going to take a miracle, but let's see what happens. I don't know. We know it's rigged, but damn. Talk about a miracle. You're going to beat the Yankees. And that's the funny part, right? So they pay all this money to these Yankee players. All right, they give Soto all this money. They give Aaron Judge all this money. They give Stanton all this money. And here come the little old Mets and win the championship. It's just like, this stuff is amazing. 305 days after his birthday. You know what's funny about that? Like I said earlier, November 1st is 111, right? November 1st is typically the 305th day of the year. And if they do have New York versus New York, the World Series could possibly end on that day. And I will also pay tribute to Ed Kranepool, who died 305 days after his birthday. Again, he died 61 days before his birthday. And the Miracle Mets is 61. And he also has a nickname which also equals 61. I think his nickname is, I think I read it here somewhere. Yeah, Steady Eddie. Steady Eddie. The name Steady Eddie is 61 as well. He died 61 days before his birthday. And that's a big number because, you know, church, 61. Jesus. Very biblical number. Right, cross. You guys know the list. All right, so that's pretty much it, I think. Let me see. So, we uncovered a lot of other stuff as well. So, a lot of 120s with the former players that passed away this year. You know, teams that will shut out their opponent by 9 or more runs in game one of their series are 5-0 in the postseason. The Dodgers can make that list, that record now 5-1, and they're playing the perfect team to do that against. Some more these notes are from StatMuse. You guys can look this up. Like I put the Mets are 58-43 in the postseason. They need 7 more wins to win the World Series, which means they'll win it with 65 wins. They need 65 to win the World Series. They're 13-16 in the World Series all time. If they get to 17, I would pay tribute to Ed again, who started his career at the age of 17, right? Like the New York Times said. He joined the team at the age of 17. And they're 67-84 against the Yankees, and they're 16-8 against the Guardians, in case the Guardians upset the Yankees. New York Mets is 168. And Game 3 is 168 days after Bobby Valentine's birthday. Bobby Valentine was the manager of the Mets during that Subway Series in the year 2000. So Game 3 will be played in Citi Field if the Yankees advance. All right. And again, Steve Cohen, the Mets owner, he's 68 years old. All right. So let me just update this. And if you guys want to call in, the number is on the screen, 646-986-0958. If you guys think something else might happen in the World Series, you want to call in and give us your narrative, I'm welcome to hear it. I'm probably not going to agree with it because all this stuff is making a lot of sense to me, and I don't know if anybody can convince me otherwise, but if you can try, I mean, I'm always willing to listen. So, yeah, the phone line is open if you guys want to call in. So, the Miracle Mets 1969 World Series. They swept the Braves, and they beat the Baltimore Orioles in 5 games. Baltimore equals 41. So, the 96. And it's funny because it's been 24 years in the last Subway Series. Again, Mets is 24. Steady Eddie from the Bronx. And sacrifices, you guys. That's why these games are really sick. All these people died for these rigged for the rigged MLB season. The Chicago White Sox, they lost all those games. So all those fans going to the games to see the White Sox play just to see them lose. Shit is mockery. And it's sick, too. Our friend Bud Harrelson, dead. Just because he was a member of the Mets. He was only 79. He could have lived another 20 years. Could have made it to 100. Like our friend Jimmy Carter did. A lot of people, oh, so what? He was old. He was supposed to die. What, you want him to live forever? If you murder a 79-year-old, you still go to prison. All you idiots out there that think that, old people can't get murdered. Yeah, shout out to Brad Vino. He said that the Mets ended their 38-year drought from winning the World Series. Yeah, that was another 38. You sent me a DM about that. That was very interesting because that matches what we've been saying about Kranepool. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. The Dodgers, Yankees. You know how much money people placed on that. The Vegas is not stupid. They're not gonna just play all that futures out. So Design says, did you know that the Mets lost 120 games in their first season 63 years ago? Yes, I spoke about that in this video. They're in their 63rd season, and then their first season they lost 120 games, and that's why the White Sox lost 120 games and matched the 1962 Mets to pay tribute to that team, because this is the year of the Miracle Mets. This is the year that they killed 4 members of that franchise, that team that won the World Series in 1969. Ed Kranepool was the last member who died on September 8th, and his name is 120. Just like this is the year of the 120th World Series. So play back the video, Designs. Designs, I think you're trolling because now you're bringing up the White Sox lost 120. Yeah, Designs, I think you're trolling. All this stuff, we already spoke about this. Go play the video from the beginning so you can listen to it. And Illuminati equals 120. That's the importance of that number. Look at all the notes right here. I didn't put that. I should have put the notes about. I'm gonna put the notes about the Mets and the White Sox paying tribute to the Mets. I gotta put that in here just in case I forget. Because the World Series starts October 25th, so I probably won't do another video until like November when the World Series is over. So I don't want to forget. So the what is it? Okay, so the Chicago White Sox lost 120 games this year, paying tribute to the 1962 Mets, who went 40 and 120 and won their first season. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so the Zan says, did you know who the Mets struck out to advance in this game? Kyle Schwarber got the last out. His Dayton Rogers 120 and 30. Like the Mets can get their third championship in the 120th World Series. Okay, thank you for adding something that I didn't repeat. Okay, so that's interesting. Thank you. Appreciate that. So you're saying that Kyle Schwarber was born on a day with 120 numerology? March 5th, 1993. Yeah, he did. Okay. Yeah. Born on the 64th day of the year on a day with 120 numerology. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I appreciate that. Kyle Schwarber. Also, he was the last batter that the Mets faced. Yeah, he was. I remember that when they clinched that series. Yeah, so they clinched the series against the guy born in 120 numerology. Okay, that's very interesting. Thank you, Design. I appreciate that. Yeah, so okay, so Vinny P says that both NFL teams are 2-4, playing tribute to the Mets, right? Yep. The Giants and Jets are 2-4. Let me see. Yeah, Jets yesterday. Aaron Rodgers fell to 3-3 versus the Bills. New York is 33. MNF is 33. Josh Allen is 33. Hey, both of the New York teams are 2-4. How about that? Oh, shout out to KG89, man. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. You know, I usually don't get super chats, so that's why I'm like, this is like, I sometimes miss it because I'm not used to getting any of that. So, but I do appreciate you reaching out and supporting this channel. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So Edwin Diaz struck out Schwarber, and Schwarber wears number 12. Like New York hasn't won a championship for 12 years. The last time New York won a championship was against the Patriots. Tom Brady, number 12. Okay, Mets equals 12. Like how Francisco Lindor wears a number 12. So that's funny. The Mets haven't won a championship in 12 years, huh? Mets equals 12. That's why Francisco Lindor is probably the star player of that team. It's all ritual. Oh, so you're saying the two teams? Okay. So look at the NFL schedule when the World Series starts. So it's October 25th, so that'll be week 8. Actually, that's a Thursday. It starts a day after the football season. After week 8. I think the World Series starts on October 25th. Yeah, it does. October 25th. So there's no games on October 25th. So the Jets play the Patriots. That's funny. That will be October 27th, which is game. Yeah, there's no baseball games that day. So Designs says that on the day the Mets beat the Brewers, the Falcons won with 12, with number 12 driving in for a touchdown for 45 yards. That's a good one. KG says that Francisco Lindor's old team is the Cleveland Guardians, huh? Yeah, I'm not too sure about the American League. The only reason I thought it was gonna be the Yankees, or I think it's gonna be the Yankees, is because, like I said earlier, Kranepool is from the Bronx. But I think it would make more sense for it to be the Guardians, to be honest, because it would be an easier path for the Mets. But I'm not making this video saying that the Mets are gonna play the Yankees. I'm saying that I'm giving you guys a reason why I think it's gonna be the Mets winning in the 120th World Series. So I got the Mets winning against whoever they go against. Doesn't matter if it's the Guardians or the Yankees. Yeah, he did play against the Cleveland Indians. So they could have Francisco Lindor play against his old team. Huh. That's another good narrative right there. I like that. Yeah, he was drafted by the Cleveland Indians in the first round of the 2011 draft. Yeah, that's a good narrative, man. Yeah, that's why in my notes, I wrote, I'll let you guys know about the record against the Guardians as well, because there is a narrative for them to play the Guardians. And right now they're 16-8 against the Guardians all time in the playoffs and in the season. Like I said, New York Mets equals 168. So they could have the Mets. If they have the Yankees and Dodgers eliminated, that'll be hilarious. The two teams that everybody is betting on to play each other. But yeah, shout out to KG, man. This is definitely a good narrative for Francisco Lindor to win his championship against his whole team. Yeah, I will not overlook this. So if you're gonna bet on this, on the future, just bet the Mets to win the World Series, or bet on the Mets to win that series against the Dodgers. Because once the World Series starts, we'll definitely have a better idea of who's gonna win it. Because we'll see the matchup and see, okay, so they're playing the Yankees or they're playing the Guardians. Okay. Yeah, all these former players down at the age of 79, like the name Francisco Lindor. Shout out to Major, man. Thanks a lot for the super chat. He says, wow, finally caught alive. Salute, my brother. Long time no speak. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Give you guys some likes, man. Appreciate the super chats. So Brad says, Teddy was shot 112 years ago. Teddy. Remind me who's Teddy. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know, man. I don't know if the Guardians can upset the Yankees. I don't think they're gonna have two upsets though. Possible, but I doubt it. But in order for it to be the Miracle Mets, it has to be their opponent has to be challenging like the Yankees, right? It won't be a miracle if they're playing a mediocre team like the Guardians. Oh, Teddy Roosevelt. What about Teddy Roosevelt? So Teddy was shot 112 years ago. Oh, he died on this day, October 27th. His birthday. He died on January 6th. So yeah, yesterday was the 112th anniversary since the shooting, since the assassination attempt. Like the Mets after hearing this stream and likely win it all. I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know about the American League, but I don't think they're gonna have two upsets though. Wait, you said Shea Stadium equals 120? That's the Mets' old stadium. Are you serious? Please tell me you're not trolling. Oh my gosh, Shea Stadium equals 120. Yo, these people are something else, man. Shea Stadium, and that's where the Subway Series was played at. Shea Stadium, man. You cannot make this stuff up, man. There's also 39 like New York, right? 177 like Jesuit Order, 69 like how the Miracle Mets won in 69. And they changed it to City Field to throw us off. They love throwing off this community, but we are too ahead of the game now. Jesuits, guys have to smarten up because we're getting smarter also. All right, killing off the Miracle Mets all at once like that. You made it too obvious. Made it too obvious, Jesuits, Illuminatis. Yeah, World Series in '69 as well. Yeah. Yeah, Shea Stadium equals 69 like the Jesuit Order. All right, so since nobody want to call in, I'll probably end the live stream there. If there's anything else, I will post it on Patreon. I'm gonna make that post free, so all you have to do is just click on it. You don't have to pay anything to view it. All the World Series stuff is gonna be free for you guys to see. Only because my Patreons gave me permission to do that. If they would have never gave me permission, I would have not. All this information would have been private, and you guys would have heard about it after the fact. So we're gonna call from Vegas. Let's see who it is. Hello. Oh, what's going on, Ro? How you doing?
Hey, man, it's hanging in there.
What's on your mind?
Long time no speak, man. Long time no speak since, you figured out the NBA Finals the last time we spoke. So, let's pick it back up from last time we speak. It's baseball. Yeah, Shea Stadium definitely equals 120. That had me jumping on the Mets about like 2 months ago, so I found that out. But I'm going to stick to the Yankees and Dodgers. Now, I put a future in for the Yankees when Garrett Cole's last start before the All-Star. They did 3 World Series numbers that day. Garrett Cole, he picked up his 147th all-time win. The Yankees picked up their 57th win of the season, and that was exactly a span of I believe it was a span of it was a 120 span. I think it was 120 days, I think, from that date, from the World Series. So World Series got that 147, the 57, and the one. No, it wasn't 120. It was a span of 150. It was 50. My bad, 150. So, World Series got that 147, the 57, and the 150. They did all three of those numbers on Garrett Cole's last start before the All-Star break. So that made me put a future on them. Just to be there, not to win, just to be there. I'm pretty sure you already know with the Dodgers with Dave Roberts, with it being 147 days from the first World Series. But the interesting thing I saw was when Mookie Betts was out, he came back with a span of 57 days from his birthday. So when I saw that made me put more into the Dodgers going. But the Dodgers and Mets is a little tougher. I actually think the Mets got better pitching, but the Dodgers got the hitters.
Yeah, I just noticed that Queens, New York is 120.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Queens and 120, and that's the only 120 that's left. So it would make sense that we would see the.
Yeah, but all those players with the 120 connection, did you see that part?
Nah, say that again.
Did you see the beginning of the stream?
Nah, I got in like 5 minutes ago.
So the four of the Miracle Mets players, four players that were in that team, the Miracle Mets from 1969 Miracle Mets. Four of those players died this year, and two of them, their full names equals 120. So Edward Emil Kranepool III, his name is 120, and the other one was Darrell McKinley Harrelson, his name is 120. And all four of them died this year. All four of them.
Damn. Yeah, that's too many deaths for one team not to.
Yeah, that's too many. That's too many players dying the same year. And remember, the Mets in their first season they lost 120 games, and that's why the White Sox lost all those games this year and matched the 1962 Mets. Yeah, the Mets, the White Sox. Remember, they lost 120 games.
Yeah.
To tie the record, and then he broke the record when they lost 121.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there, man. That is some real good stuff. Ooh, man.
Yeah, and the whole Queens, New York, Shea Stadium is 120. This is their year.
I guess we're gonna have to go check, man, because I know the last time the Yankees did the three-peat, that was against it was against the Mets, right?
I know the Yankees won that World Series in 2000. I don't know if if that was a three-peat.
Yeah, that was a three-peat. That was the last they were the last.
Yeah. Yep. 98, 99, 2000, yep. And then they won again in 2009.
Could you check and see if Pat Mahomes' dad was on that Mets team? That Mets team that the Yankees beat?
Oh, that's a good one. See, I like when you go in your bag like that.
Hey man, you told me to bring some sauce to the show, man.
Yo, he was on that team. He was on that team.
There we go.
Pat Mahomes' father played for the Mets in the last Subway Series.
All right, so Arthur, remember we talked about this three-peat stuff during March Madness?
Yeah.
So check this out. I see that three-peat always has something to do with the 122s. It's always up in there. So if you go look, when Derek Jeter got the MVP that year. I mean the MVP of the World Series, and it was exactly a span of 122 days from his birthday to when they won it. And the Yankees won that year. They won on 98 wins, concluding the playoffs. Three-peat equals 98. Reason why I want you to check in those 122s is because you're going to see when you do the WNBA, the last WNBA team to do a three-peat, Cynthia Cooper that year, she scored 122 points when they three-peat. When you go look at what the Oakland A's, they three-peated. They had the player, the MVP of that player was Riley Fingers. Riley Fingers, from his birthday to when he won the MVP, was a span of either 122 or a week of 22 days from when they won it. So it seems like 122 is always in three-peat, or it could just be in three. Because, Mahomes just picked up his third championship, and he became 12-2 all-time at home in the playoffs. So that whole 122 and the satanic stuff, they all go together with three. So I just wanted to drop that. But, yeah, we seen Pat Mahomes' dad being in, and this is crazy. It's probably going to be another Subway Series. That's 24 years. That's 24 years ago.
Yeah, 24 years ago, and Ed Kranepool, the last member of the Miracle Mets to pass away, he died September 8th. He was born in the Bronx. So when was do you remember when was Pat Mahomes arrested?
Oh, that was that 187 code they put in. You put that in the thing. All right. So you said where was he or when was he?
Yeah, I think he's in prison right now, right?
No, he got out. He got out for the Super Bowl.
Because it says here Patrick Mahomes Sr. He got 5 years probation. Oh, so they gave him probation.
Yeah, that was all part of that ritual.
Yeah, with the
The 187. Now, if you guys don't know, the 187. Now, if you guys had write the Super Bowl date last year, which was February 12th. If you write that in the calculator, it equals 187. When his dad got locked up, it was 187 days from his upcoming birthday. So that's where that 187 played. And there was another 187 in there also. I got to go look at the notes. But yeah, I saw that with Pat Mahomes' dad. Just crazy how they do all this. And now I think it's the Mets now. I think it is going to be the Mets and the Yankees now.
Yeah.
That Miracle Mets stuff, that's some good stuff right there, man. Real good stuff. I gotta get back on this channel, man, and be on here consistently, man. You do be having that heat.
I appreciate that. And Pat Mahomes is 111. Game 6 is on November 1st.
Okay.
So if they have New York versus New York, like New York is 111, they can end the series on November 1st.
That's crazy. That's game 6, right? 111 is game 6, right?
Yeah, game 6. And it'll be 2-4, right? The series?
What do you mean 2-4?
Well, whoever wins is gonna win in 6.
And the Yankees won it when they played them in the playoffs. They won it in 6 or they won it in 7.
I think it was 5 games because USA equals 41, and that was right before 9/11.
Okay.
So they won in 5 games. But what I'm saying is, whoever wins this year will win in 6. So that means they'll win 2-4. 2 games to 4.
Gotcha.
Mets hit 24 in the year 24. 24 years after the last Subway Series.
And Arthur, am I allowed to say this? Have you said anything about the NBA yet? I know this is a lot.
No, I haven't. I don't even know who's gonna. I mean, the season hasn't started yet, so I haven't looked at the NBA yet.
All right. Well, we'll talk offline. Like, this is a free stream, so I'll talk to you about that offline.
All right, no doubt. All right, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate the call.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
How you doing? So Design is doing good work, man. I thought you was trolling in the beginning, but I see that you're not trolling. You're just giving out good information. So I appreciate you, Design. Shout out to Ro as well for the call. So he wrote that Pete Rose and Bud Harrelson, they died 263 days apart. The 56 prime number. Yeah, Society of Jesus 56. Yeah, I'm trying to see the Pete Rose piece to all this, right? Where does Pete Rose? Did Pete Rose play against that Miracle Mets? Hello?
Hey, Arthur, how are you?
How you doing, man? Thank you for the call.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm calling. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but I skipped around, and I saw that you're on the Mets here.
Yes.
So I'm a creator, too. I'm a decoder as well.
What is your name?
Plain Decoded.
Who?
Plain Decoded. Plain Decoded.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a video, and I don't know if you've seen the connection yet, but it's a really good connection. And if you want to pull up my video and play it, it's up to you. You don't have to.
Well,
But,
what is it? I'll watch it later. What's your channel name?
Plane, Plane.
D-A-L?
Decoded. Plane like a flat plane. Plane.
Plane?
Yeah, and then space decoded.
Okay, you have 645 subs?
Yeah, and then it's my latest video.
Okay, I got you.
It's, yeah.
So it's about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man, yeah. So if you watch the video, it's only 7 minutes. It's there's a pre-programming in Spider-Man No Way Home where it's set in 2024, but the movie was released in 2021, and Spider-Man says to Mary Jane that he thinks the Mets are going to go all the way this year. And then I found all these other connections because the Mets were established in 1962, and so was Spider-Man. And the pre-programming in the movie is the main thing, but if you can play it if you want, but I'm long distance, so I just wanted to tune you into that and see if you like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna play your video. I appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah, shout out to Plane Decoded. If you guys want to follow the channel, Plane Decoded. Plane like airplane. Plane Decoded. I'm gonna watch this 7-minute video. I see the 120 on Spider-Man's back. I like it. All right, so let me just. I want to make sure Pete Rose didn't play against that 1969 Mets. He had 120 runs in 1969. That's funny. So wait. So who did the 1969 Mets beat? It wasn't the Reds, right? No, it was it was the Orioles. What am I talking about? I saw that earlier. Okay. Yeah, 1969. Pete Rose was 28 years old. He had 120 runs that year. 218 hits. All right. I gotta look into the Pete Rose because Pete Rose died as well, and I don't think he died for no reason. His death is gonna be synced up with the World Series. It's like every big major death is always synced up with the championship game. All right, so let me play this guy's video, and then we probably end it there because he says that the Mets movie predicted that the Mets were gonna win the World Series. So let's take a listen to this guy's video and see what he has. Okay, here we go.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's Plain Decoded. This is going to be a quick video about how potentially there is pre-programming in the movie Spider-Man No Way Home for the Mets to win the World Series this year. Now, the movie was released on December 17th, 2021, and I'll show later in the video that the timeline of the Marvel Universe in this movie is set in 2024. So this movie was released 3 years ago and is set in the year 2024. So that's what I'll be touching.
And you know what's funny? They released it on the Pope's birthday, December 17th.
Set in the year 2024. So that's what I'll be touching on. And if it seems a little disjointed, it's because I had to edit it all together. I couldn't record it all in one swift motion. I had to edit it. And hopefully it gets the point across. And if they don't win the World Series, I'm not predicting that they do, but if they do, then we got this here in a movie showing that there is pre-programming in movies. This is a clip from the movie Spider-Man No Way Home, where Peter Parker is speaking to Mary Jane on the phone. And the timeline of the Marvel Universe is set in 2024. And they're going to talk about something really interesting here that has to do with the MLB and the season that's going on this year, the 120th World Series. So just listen to what they're about to say.
You like sports?
I think the Mets are going to go all the way this year.
Really?
What's that noise?
So as you heard, she thinks the Mets are going to go all the way this year. And just a reminder, this is taking place in the year 2024. And in the Marvel Universe, and it is the year 2024 right now, and the Mets are making a serious run to the World Series. I want to show some connections between the Mets and the 120th World Series. So 2024 is 120th World Series. Okay, and then this year, the Chicago White Sox set the record for the most losses of 121 losses for the season. And before that, the 1962 Mets had the record at 120 losses, and it's the 120th World Series. And remember that this happened in 1962. Also in 1962 is when Spider-Man was created. The wall-crawling crime fighter was introduced to the world in August 1962. And who else was introduced to the world in 1962? The history of the New York Mets began in 1962. So Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and the Amazing Mets were both introduced in 1962, the same year that the Mets set the record for the most losses at 120, and then we're in the 120th World Series this year. Here's some memorabilia from when they won the last World Series. They were called the Amazing Mets. So the Mets were called the Amazing Mets, and then we have the Amazing Spider-Man. So there's a connection between the Mets being made in the same year, the name that they're calling the Mets when they won the World Series. And they're actually, if you look in the news right now, they're calling them the Amazing Mets as well. Here's a headline from the New York Post: how Grimace, a McDonald's mascot, became the Mets' good luck charm in their amazing 2024 postseason run. All right, this is a snippet from a Spider-Man comic where it clearly shows that Spider-Man is a Mets fan. It's from Spidey Up Against the Wall. So he's a Mets fan that's established. Here's another comic called Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's not the Amazing Spider-Man. It's a different version where he's a kid and he's with his uncle, and they're going to a Mets game. It's edition 33, and I think in the total series it's 131. All right, in this comic, Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, he's sitting in row 2, seat 12. And that's interesting too, because in Gematria, the Mets equal 12. As I showed in that article before, they're having this big run, and for some reason, Grimace from McDonald's is given his own seat, and this is his seat number, seat 12, just like Spider-Man. All right, so here's Grimace with his seat, and it's in a different row, but it's in row 6, seat 12. There he is with his number 12 seat, just like Peter Parker. And they actually did this because of the same, they did this by the date as well. So they gave it a row 6, seat 12 because of June 12th, which is 6/12. So they're giving Grimace his seat based on the date, right? All right, here's a video of Spider-Man getting married at Shea Stadium in 1987. And I'm just going to skip ahead. Here's Stan Lee.
Even dare I say,
Stan Lee
than
talking
Peter Parker. So why him?
and promoting Spider-Man's marriage at Shea
It's all
Stadium
that webbing, those
to
tricks
Mary
you
Jane
can do with
Watson.
them. It just
Okay, I just want to continue here. I was showing all the 120 connections with the name of Stan Lee. His full name equals 120. Shea Stadium equals 120. It's the 120th World Series. The Mets play in Flushing Meadows Corona Park at Citi Field, and it's adjacent to the Shea Stadium where it used to be, and Shea Stadium equals 120. And that's in letters and numbers, numerology. At one point during the Chicago White Sox beating the New York Mets to get the most losses of the modern era, they improved to 39 and 120. And then New York equals 39, and 120 equals Shea Stadium, and it equals Flushing, like how it's in Flushing Meadows. And so, yeah, that's an important number, 39, and it's 120th World Series. And the 1962 New York Mets, like how Spider-Man was introduced in 1962, and so were the Mets. Right, so here's Flushing equals 120 and 39. Shea Stadium, which is adjacent to the Citi Field, is 120 and 39. Stanley Martin Lieber, that's his real name, equals 120, and New York equals 39. So all in all, I don't know if the Mets are going to win the World Series, but the major thing to take away is that if they do, there's pre-programming in the movie that was released in 2021, Spider-Man: No Way Home, and that reminds me of a Home Plate, right? No Way Home, and the current season that is going on in 2024, which is when that movie in the Marvel Universe takes place, which is in 2024. And that movie is actually about, it's like they're coming out of a parallel universe, or somehow the movie knows that it's going to happen, right? So it's really interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but I just wanted to put this out there and draw some connections and show some pre-programming that's in movies. And this is happening in movies for all sorts of things. So that's not what my channel is mainly about. My channel is mainly about sports right now. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.
Wow, that was amazing, man. That was great work, man. Wow. Shout out to Plain Decoded, man. You're gonna get a sub for me for sure, man. That was a great breakdown, to be honest. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. The Amazing Mets, The Amazing Spider-Man. You know, they're giving them a name. They're calling them Amazing Mets, but they're leaving out the G for some reason. Yeah, but that movie came out on the Pope's 85th birthday, which is also interesting. So 12/17/2021. – 149 weeks before the World Series. I think the Mets are gonna win the World Series this year. Like, why would she even say that? Like, what does the Mets have to do with that movie? And then the fact that the Spider-Man is a Mets fan is just hilarious. No Way Home. Yeah, we've been saying this for years, man. The predictive programming, they put it in the movies because that's where nobody's looking. Oh, it's just a movie. You think that's real life? Yes, stupid. It's real life. So yeah, shout out to Plain Decoded, man. That was absolutely great. Jay with open eyes said he should have went to see No Way Home. Yeah, you should have saw it. You would have put a future in 3 years ago for the Mets to win the World Series this year. Yeah, but besides the movie part, the more sick. Hold on, I think there's a fire outside. Hold on. All right, never mind. It does smell like smoke though, but it's somebody cooking. All right, let me see. So what's the name of the film? Spider-Man: No Way Home. Does Spider-Man have a birthday? I wonder if his birthday is October 25th. So he was born October 10th, 2001. Peter Parker. So Spider-Man does have a birthday. Spider-Man was born on a day with 39 numerology and a day with 12 numerology. Probably the creator of Spider-Man is a Mets fan. Peter Parker is 61 like the Miracle Mets. Yep. Yeah, but shout out to that person that did that video. That was great. All right, so I'll end it there. Hit the like, guys. Share the video. And, yeah, good luck on your futures. My advice is to take the Mets to at least defeat the Dodgers. If you want to play risky, take the Mets to go all the way this year. All the 120s point to the Mets. I don't see a 120 for any other team that's left. The Guardians, Yankees, Dodgers. I don't see the 120s. Don't really connect with those teams the way they do with the Mets. So again, and there are other narratives up there. If you guys want to, go with the Dodgers, go with the Yankees, do whatever you guys want. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just putting the information out there, and if it makes sense, invest. This post is absolutely free. All you have to do is go to my Patreon, click on it. You don't have to pay anything, and you can read all the notes and all the updated notes before the World Series starts. All the World Series notes is gonna go on this post only, and then all the other sports picks you have to pay. So this is the only thing you're gonna get for free. So let's see if the Mets win the championship in their 63rd season and close out the 120 World Series. And let's see if they make teams 5-1 who shut out their opponent in Game 1 by more than 9 runs, 9 or more runs, like how the Dodgers did to them in Game 1 of this series. All right. So let's see if Francisco Lindor plays against the Yankees or he plays against his old team. We shall see. But doesn't really matter. I know I'm taking the Mets to beat the Dodgers. That's one thing for sure. But good luck, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday.